What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Probably a good day for this too. Thoughts on Lightning Axe over Flame Slash to handle Sheoldred better? Allows extra discard outlet. I am not very scared of Sheoldred. It is like a 1 or 2 of in, you know, a lot of black decks, but you can just double burn spell it. You can also just like put them in a. It's also 4 mana. You can just put them in a spot where they're way behind. Yeah, I'm just not concerned. Okay, Undercity Sewers. We'll join them swimming in the sewer here. Kind of wish Undercity Sewers was the black-white card instead of the blue-black one, I guess. We could dig through Slime here. I think I'm just going to hold up my mana. They could very easily be playing a deck that you could push a Dothy Voidwalker. Not very likely to play Shadow this turn, I guess. They could be playing Mill. You could be playing Satoro. I do also think the Esper Satoro decks are really good. And I don't know which build of them I think is better, but I do think that they're good. We'll get a second Sewers because we could potentially go Pillage plus Cling in the same turn. Now I think I should be holding up Charm here instead of plotting a Pillage. But we could go plot Pillage and to try to go wreck, hold up Charm. The thing is they're just going to have probably too many counter spells for us to do that, and I would like to counter another Satoro. Although we'll go ahead and Cling to Dust this instead of counterspell it. But they weren't holding up a counterspell there. They suspended Ancestral Vision, so they have Jace in their deck, I'm assuming. I'm going to go ahead and cast Wilderness Reclamation. If it resolves, I can't really imagine we can lose, which is a good place to be. Satoro, Death and Taxes, post MH3. I mean, we have Esper, Satoro, Vial. Okay, 3 mana, 3/1. Resolves. Yeah, the Satoro Novent stuff was pretty reasonable. I'm interested in returning to Satoro soon. I at the very least, at the time of making this comment, I think that the best Satoro decks play Stoneforge Mystic and Cryptic Coat, and I just don't know if you want to be more in on like a Persist, Grief, Troll Shell or an Aether Vial Shell, or if there's potentially like a merge of the two or a different direction to go. But like just Esper with a bunch of pitch elementals, Ephemerate, Stoneforge Coat, Satoro has been, I think, for me, very good. My opponent is playing Ancestral Vision. Maybe I guess they maybe don't have Jace. They're like unearthing their Halo Forager to cast Ancestral Vision and unearth. We probably don't need to sideboard too much here. That one of Clean to Dust looking pretty nice. I could see maybe playing like 1 Force of Negation, maybe 2. But let's trim a Growth Spiral, and play a Force. Maybe just do 2. With Rack, will you be using Search for Visconta? Search for Visconta has never been Modern playable. It's been a card people have played in Modern. I think it was even awful back then. I would love for that to not be the case. I also, like, I'm sure you love Search for Visconta. That card is so sick. I played a ton with it in Standard. It is just 2 mana sorcery speed, don't impact the board most of the time. Alright, so we can keep Counterspell here, then we can have Edict or Counterspell up next turn. Remember you recall playing Search for Visconta in a particular deck tech in Modern? I don't. I would love to play it though. I would sure love to play it. I hate Search, just in my opinion. Yeah, I'm a big Search hater. I mean, I have mixed feelings. I think the card is completely unplayable, but I have a lot of nostalgia for the card. I've qualified, or I'm pretty sure I've qualified for a pro tour with Search for Visconti in the deck. I definitely had Teferi Hero of Dominaria. I played two standard control decks. Surely one of them was when Search was legal. I can't remember the. I'm losing my mind. That basketball really, really got me. Okay, so I can't really Typhoon for 0 now because I'm just going to be too low on Typhoons, maybe? Maybe that's not true. Used to be unplayable, not Modern Horizons. Yeah, I know people used to play it. People did used to play it, but also, like, that was during, like, the Celestial Colonnade Go memes where Blue-White was so bad, but people played it. Blue-White was so bad. Like this was the format where, like, you would go Faithless Looting, Street Wraith, Hollow One, Vengevine, and then your opponent would go, okay, Celestial Colonnade tapped, and it's just like, and they would also play Search for Visconti, and it was a wild time. It was just so truly awful. But yeah, like people did play it. I don't think it was ever playable. Is my my thesis here. Right, I'm gonna just throw out a Deluge. Yeah, that was a wild format. It was a dark time. It was a really dark time. Like I was, I was like it was a little bit post Modern Horizons, but I just was also trying to do what I'm doing now and trying to brew and trying to do a lot of stuff, and it was tough. Like the looting decks were just so hard to beat. It was really tough. Like I really think the day that they banned Faithless Looting and they unbanned Stoneforge Mystic was the best day. It was like I was the reason I was able to, like, full-time stream. I think if they didn't do that, it just, like, would not have been really possible to keep things going. I remember like distinctly, like, considering quitting because, like, shit was just so tough, and then they banned it, and I was like, what the fuck? I played Bitter Blossom. And then they banned it. I'm like, well, we've got a chance. Yeah, the Urza decks also, and then they also started. They made Pioneer a format that was a really big deal too, because Modern was also, like, really unplayable then. Aren't you one of the frontrunners of Looting Phoenix? Yeah, but this thing about being a Modern brewer streamer is you just, well, one, I wasn't streaming back then, but also you gotta have a lot of stuff. You have to, like, be working on stuff constantly. You just like I know a lot of people do this, but just playing the same deck on stream over and over and over again is not a very productive way to grow a Modern stream. Is this a delve spell? Oh, no, there's Suspending Profane Tutor. Okay. Let's drill 2. Hey, Muiz, 14 months. Thank you. Welcome back. And kind of at that point, like, the looting decks had been pretty solved, I felt. Maybe that wasn't exactly true. I guess we should just go wreck with Counterspell up. We know they have Force of Negations. They got 2 cards. Is it another Force of Negation and another blue card? They've already used 2 forces. They do have Profane Tutor suspended. Wilderness Reclamation is a crazy card. It's just, alright. Plus 6 mana. The turn it comes down. Hit me Wiz, 2 months. Or 14 months. Thank you so much. I'm kind of torn between the border posts, which are maybe correct, versus the... Probably lead on a fetch land here, so I could go push into Growth Spiral, put Triumph or Surveil Land into play. I was kind of torn between the border post versus Signet Enigma Jewel Lotus Field, which I thought was kind of cool. I've been kind of having a hard time with the mana, but I think trying to play a Jace Restore Balance deck is kind of interesting. On the draw against a Rogran Triome, we need to hit our land drops, but we have our Growth Spiral draw, we have our Undercity Sewers Surveil, we could even Pillage the Bog into a land if we're desperate enough, so I think I can afford to keep the Typhoon. More free starter brews being cooked. We spent like nearly I guess maybe like 4 streams on free starter to look out. I think the card is amazing still. I think the Coffers deck is really good. I think the Valakut deck is really good. It may be good to play a league of like the updated Valakut list on stream, because we did like we played like some of the showcase on stream, but it was only 3 matches, so it may be good to just show an updated league. Maybe if after this we can do a poll for that versus Phoenix. I don't know if there's going to be like a lot more. I kind of want to circle back to the mono green builds because those builds are really fun. Those builds were really fun. I think they were better than the green red ones too. But I kind of want to get weird with it potentially and do some crazy stuff, like usual maybe. I kind of like just stealing the shaman token. Could also just see push the token, draw 2. I think either would have been fine, but like the mana advantage you get from this is really good. Maybe I should also say this is that this matchup, like Rec versus 4 color, is kind of like the most lopsided matchup in modern, maybe, or at the if it's not the most lopsided, it is really close. It's just they have like just no clock. They have so few counter spells. We have this main deck Nexus of Fate. It just like it their game actions just don't matter that much. You know what I mean? Mana advantage just as a reclamation deck. Yeah, I mean, mana advantage is really important. Hammer Burn would like to say hello. I mean, Burn at least plays like a ton of sideboard cards against Hammer usually. If this isn't the most lopsided matchup in Modern, it is a very lopsided one, So, statistically proven 80-20 matchup. I mean, that if that's from the RC data, the data was like the sample sizes were not that big, to be fair. Aimlet versus Mill. Yeah, maybe Aimlet versus Mill is probably more lopsided. But I don't know. This is I think this is also an 80-20 matchup. I know that's kind of wild to say because it just doesn't feel like anything is like that against 4 color. But I remember back when like Yorion was legal and people were like, oh Spike, what do you do if you want to beat 4 color? It's like, well, I've like never lost to it with this reclamation deck. So I'm going to binding the token. I'm not going to counterspell this so we can resolve our reclamation here. You said I'm going to lose. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Things are a little different now for sure. You just have like you just go over the top of them so much. They have a hard time interacting with what you're doing a lot of the times. Obviously they have some relevant interaction. You just go so over the top and their clock is just so bad. It's just tough to lose. Free Starter pairs nice with the Spellskite Tron Prison deck that was playable at some point. Why does it pair well? What's the idea behind posing this deck? Seems a little awkward with all of our reactive spells. We want to hold up. Probably overthinking it. Like the card is 2 mana. It's not that tough to just play on your turn. Okay. I mean, they're representing that they have binding, so I guess I need to not end of turn draw 2. The card is like an incredible card selection spell in a deck that really cares about the card selection, and even just plotting it too is going to come up, I think, a lot of the time. Trying to hit a land here. Not the toughest thing to do. I'm very opposed to putting Expressive Iteration in Team Iraq. I think Pillage the Bog is a lot better, and I think they do pretty different things. Right, can't hold Love Double Charm anyway, so just, draw 2 and then Love Charm. Did you change the title? The title is Dig Through Slime. Oh, Coffers. Reclamation. Pillage is a crazy card in a deck that cares a lot about the super efficient card selection, and puts a lot of lands into play. I don't know. It's really just not that complicated, I feel. So copying the reflection token is a little problematic. I think what I'll just do is, like, if they go copy the token, I'll just steal the token in response to the activation here. And then that maybe wrecks like their plan for how to use their mana. Don't think I'm playing around third Leyline Binding either. I think I'm gonna steal anyways. Interesting pickup. Let's go ahead and offer this trade. So they don't accept. So can I cast Memory Deluge, Nexus of Fate, and plot Pillage the Bog? Looks like I'm gonna be a little short. Let's just main phase Deluge. Boseiju. I'm getting this so I could cast the Pillage this turn if I don't find a piece of permission. There are a couple pieces of permission. Although, do I want the land over the Sheoldred's Edict? I think I want the Sheoldred's Edict, probably. Two more loots. My opponent plays Ren in 6. It's kind of awkward that they get another Boseiju. Don't think I can afford to counterspell a Ren in 6 here, though. I can attack it to death. Is the Moxfield on update? Was not. Okay. So they're probably on Hardcast Solitude here, which is just not something I care enough about to not draw 2. Gonna go to combat. Probably want to try to pillage into a reclamation, especially because we can Boseiju a third binding. Trigger successfully on the stack. Oh, in response to this, my opponent is going to binding. That's okay. Pretty big mistake on their part to let this trigger happen, but we would have been able to Boseiju anyways. Okay, they're doing something else. Getting a tap Stomping Ground, like they're going to get a turn here. They still do have that Hardcast Solitude up. Let's go to combat. Seems like they don't actually have a Hardcast Solitude. No, I would not play a creature land. If I would, I would. It would be in the deck, you know. They're just you could, but I think we're already playing the maximum number of uh blue lands that don't tap for another color, and I don't want to play Hall of the Storm Giants over any of the other ones that are possible. Well, I didn't find a counterspell after Deluge, Flashback Deluge. I'll take a Typhoon and a Edict, I guess. Yeah, so they'll be able to live another turn. They're at 3 life, though. Why did we cast the Spirals instead of trying to Deluge for Nexus? I mean, we wouldn't have hit the Nexus. I feel like just cycling the Spirals to get max information on like what to grab off the Deluges is usually what I like to do in these spots. Feels a little nitpicky, I don't know. But I think it's better to cast the just cantrips that cantrip before you cast the card selection spell, because you get, again, you just get to make the best decision possible. This is generally the sequencing, as I just cast the spirals before the deluges if I have lots of mana. Just like a 1 spiral, since casting both lets us about the mana cast Nexus. Yeah, that might have been better, but I'm also just kind of looking for any counterspell, which is like as good as a Nexus, and you know, I didn't find Nexus or a counterspell. Is what it is. So if I can find some counter magic, we won't Nexus. Opponent is fetching down to 2. Counterspell, dig through slime. Okay, I'll go to Nexus here. See, modern players are generally scared to try new things. I think they genuinely don't have time to try new things, more so than they just, you know, are fearful of it or reluctant to. It's like expensive and time consuming to brew like I do. But I'm happy to do the work. Okay, so bringing the Force of Negations. Okay, probably not bringing in Kaheera. Want more than 0 pick your poisons. Yeah, they still have protection, but we just want a Nexus and just get to a point where we have like 3 counter spells in hand and then pass. They did still have protection, yeah. Probably play 1 Fatal Push, 3 Edict. Keeping in the cling. Could be good to just play 1 Pick Your Poison, because we only have like 1 binding target anyways, so it's like... Yeah, let's just play 1. I'll go down a couple spirals. Played any paper tournaments recently? The last paper tournament I played was a standard RCQ. And then I'm gonna have the standard RC coming up in a couple weeks. I think we can keep this on the draw kind of reluctantly. Is 3 Steps Ahead good? I haven't played it. I know it's like seeing a lot of play in standard. I think it's like a good amount worse than Archmage's Charm. I have to def, 17 months. Thank you, welcome back. What the fuck? Well, this is pretty good against my board out a bunch of my fatal pushes strategy, huh? It's funny. It is a 2 mana 1/2. So, is this maybe it's main deck? We've been main deck Charmaglyph before out of 4 color. Always surprises me though. Now we don't have our 3rd color still, but once we do, watch out, opponent. It's like Archmage's Charm, Cryptic Command, Mystic Influence, all rolled in 1, and worse than each. Yeah, I think it's a good review, Google review of 3 Steps Ahead. Hopefully they just cast the ring and we get to hardcast a Force. It probably should be casting a main phase because if I counterspell that this grows. Frick. Well, if we draw a black source, we get to go slime into Nexus. I'm feeling pretty good. Can you explain the plot mechanic, please? If you plot something, it gets exiled, and then you can cast it for 0 mana on any later turn. Yeah, Bog was great in the Coffers deck for sure yesterday. Okay, we're looking for Memory Deluge, Black Source, take an Archmage's Charm. Not a lot else. Okay, I am going to go ahead and cycle my Nexus of Fate. We gotta find a black source soon. It's like almost right to just Kaheera in hand instead of casting this. I'm gonna cast this, but not feeling great. How many times do you plot it? Mostly trinket text. You're gonna plot Pillage the Bog a lot more than you expected to. Like on turn 3, when your like Murktide or blue-white opponent just has a counterspell up, you plot it every single time. You also plot it on turn 3 if it's your only play and there's no 1 mana card that's like relevant to dig for. It gets plotted basically every time in those situations too. That's mostly it. But like it's not mostly trinket text. It's like super well designed aspect of the card. Okay, target player draws 2. It's me. I'm the target player. Okay, weird game. Never drew black mana. I got Tarmogoyf. Probably not gonna be super representative of what the the cyborg games are like all the time. I'm gonna go up on the fatal push count here. Never play Evacuation in this deck. Is Evacuation bounce all green permanents? So doesn't that bounce your Reclamations? It's probably not that card, right? Return all creatures on their hands. No, that card is not modern playable. I would put Damnation into my deck, and for 1 less mana, I would kill all creatures. I'll be at sorcery speed. Evacuation's like, it's EDH card that some people know about because of that format, but it is not close to being modern playable. Okay, on the play for game 3. 99.5% to find a black source. It's normal day here. Yeah, Teachings is also just so much worse than Deluge. There's just not much point to play it. Probably okay to keep the land here. Pretty good chance to go like Counterspell and to just plot the Pillage the Bog. If they do nothing worth counterspelling, might cycle Typhoon for 0. Spike is trying so hard not to talk about leaks. I have not seen the leaks. I I don't know. I just am happy enough to wait. You mean chat, I see. My confusion. So it's kind of bad against Teferi to not hold up the Typhoon cycle here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and still plot this Pillage the Bog. Well, 1 Snapcaster. Well, 1 Snapcaster would make you lose your Kaheera companion. Would Modern be better if they banned Kaheera and Gigantha? Yeah, I think yes. But these cards are, for some reason, still legal, it seems. So, playing Boseiju makes us bad against Binding, but they don't have Binding up, and they've already played a Boseiju, so they're not that likely to have a Boseiju. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab Counterspell. Could grab Cling. Cling looks kind of nice. Another Pillage looks kind of nice. Let's grab Counterspell. Are they trying to cast Binding and they don't have the mana for it? So they started to pay costs. They have the Force of Vigor, pitch it on Math. Okay, we'll accept this outcome. And then they top deck Rin and 6, which is frustrating. Yeah, I think if Gigantha and Kaheera or Branded Modern, the format would be a lot better plays. I think it's really dumb that like a lot so many decks just incidentally get Kaheera with like just no thought or effort put into it. It's just like you always have to do the Kaheera check. Just kind of bad for the format. Second Black Source could be good. We're gonna get Basic Island though. Just keep Blue Tree. You could keep Blue Tree, Mori, Zerda, Obosh. These are all fine. Garuda. Do have Sheoldred's Edict to answer the Ren and 6 in the back. The Reclamation is an awesome pickup. Pretty sure I'm going to... No, I'm just going to counterspell this Leyline Binding. Kira sometimes played in Legacy Storm, pitched to Force of Vigor. I think I maybe was the first person to top 8 a Legacy challenge with Kaheera. I remember we were playing like some Luris Storm, and Luris was like so insane, and then they banned Luris in Legacy, and then I just played Kaheera instead of the challenge, and it was like really annoying in some matchups to just grab it and then like just grab it and then start attacking with it. It happened like so often because your like opponents just couldn't counter it, and they had a lot of times had to hold up all their mana. Have I played 5-color Rec with Leyland Binding on stream? No, but I don't really think there's a lot to there. Maybe the only Triumph hater. No, Triumphs are really hated. A lot of people don't like the Triumphs. Let's surveil before spiraling. I probably see at least once a week someone in the chat go, hot take, Triumphs were design mistakes. I agree. Okay, trying to keep up with the ring. Feels like I should probably be able to edict an Omnath. Like the sharks are going to be able to take care of the Ren. Maybe going to be able to take care of my opponent. We'll see. Gavin Verhey said that they were a mistake and they should have been all 10 triumphs. Yeah, if they were all 10 triumphs, it would have been nice. Switch from Confess Spike to Counter Timmy. This is just my Daybreak content creator account. I'm using Conspiring Spike in tournaments and this just for leagues because it's easier to switch to backup decks and stuff. Yeah, you can trigger Revolt off of 0/0 Shark. Very fun trick. Okay, looking pretty good for us. Gonna hit them for 9 down to 4 if they don't have a Solitude. And I wonder if, how many Solitudes they're playing with their Tarmogoyf plan post board. Maybe some, probably more than 0, but less than 4. Be my guess. We also just have a ton of great top decks here, including Pillage the Bog. Pillage the Bog is just so good in these. It's kind of hard to articulate, but decks like this where if you're a top decker, you like Pillage the Bog. And especially if you are a deck that can put a lot of lands into play. Okay, so let's take a Deluge here. I won't be able to deluge into a counterspell, and I guess I could hit land counterspell. I'm just gonna attack first. Would you prefer pick the poison as it is or instant speed but cost 2 mana? Like just in general, I mean, pick your poison is better at 1 mana. Oh, dude, we hit land here. Obviously, we still have the flashback, so I think I should be just getting an island. One's going to go down to 2 life points. So looking for me for a counterspell blue card. That's technically that. Looking pretty good. It's just like so often with Reclamation decks, you're like, I need to find a Reclamation, I need to find a Deluge, I need to find a Typhoon, I need to find a Nexus, I need to find just like anything, and like just Pillage is just so sick in these kind of velocity snowbally decks, if that makes sense. But it's definitely gonna get to see a lot of cards here. Feels like we've got them in a pretty good hold at the moment. If they play an Omnath, I'm probably just going to Sheoldred's Edict. And then I can have Force of Negation up, pitching the Archmage's Charm. Which all companions would like Lutri Obosh. Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, like, the pre-nerf companions were a huge design mistake. But post-nerf companion, like I think like 6 of them are really good for constructed, and I think that like 4 of them are really bad. Maybe Karuga in the context of standard Pioneer is kind of too bad, but non-token creature. Shooter's Edict is such a well-designed card too. So it has a lethal One Ring in play. We've got Force of Negation up. We're going to be able to push a Shaman to deny them a mana here. Got 2 lethal Sharks in play also. A lot of problems. Can we all agree Lurrus was a mistake though? Of course. Like, yeah, I think Lurrus, Yorion, Giganta, Kaheera were really bad design mistakes in the context of Modern. Zerda, Gyruda were pretty rough in Legacy, and then Karuga is really bad for Standard Pioneer. And then Obosh. Obosh is the perfect companion because like Lutri is fucked up for EDH. It's like Obosh and Umori. the only thumbs ups for me, I guess. Do you prefer this overpowered modern or classic OG old modern? I think right now is the era of Magic that modern that I am enjoying the most, and I think is the best. I love the Splinter Twin Birthing Pod era. That era was really, really fun. It's also like, you know, to some extent these kind of things are fun and nice because they end and because, you know, things change, and you get to look back and reflect on this time and enjoy it, but I don't think it's the kind of format that would just stay super fun forever. And I also think that a lot of our vision of that era, assuming that's even the era you're referring to, is like clouded by nostalgia. You know what I mean? Clouded by nostalgia. I think shit is just really good right now. I think things are like about as good as they ever are in modern. Maybe not the literal best, but I think at the very least we feel like we're on a big upswing in the last, for how things have been in like the last year or so. Okay, so we're on the play in the blind against another Giganta deck. I think I'm going to put back Watery Grave. Pretty good chance that their prowess of the extra shockland's kind of tough, and I want to be able to go green-blue Surveil Land, Otawara, Spiral, blue-black Surveil Land, Reclamation on 3 on the play. Yeah, I'll make sure I tweet the card this time. Fizzle, 24 months, happy 2 years, welcome back. Spike Bully Wizards. I don't know. I posted the sad is this guy from Narcos? The Pablo Escobar, right? This is the dramatization of Pablo Escobar. I thought this was kind of funny. I showed it to Esther, and she's like, "Yeah, this is funny." And I all I did was post this and the link. I don't know. To me, it was never that serious. But I really do appreciate Wizards taking the time to give me a preview card. I don't know, but you know, say what you will about Wizards. If your tweet gets enough likes, they'll do whatever you want. They will just do whatever you want if your tweet gets enough likes, and that's something I've always admired about them. They're very online company. Yeah, they do genuinely try. Like they do genuinely listen and try to make changes, and you know, you can clown on them a lot, but that is definitely something to their credit. All right, let's go to main phase this spiral. Can you tweet unban violent outburst? Dude, the format has been so much better post outburst. I'm not saying this because they're watching. I was trying to keep it real. Yeah, so 10 days from now is our preview card. The last two times I've had preview cards, Esther has made a PowerPoint for them, and I really enjoyed this. So what's fun about the Esther doing a PowerPoint on the on the preview cards is that she has a loose understanding of the game, and it's very funny to see like her first impression of the card for someone who has a very loose interpretation of the game. How much do you think MH3 is going to change Modern? I think the format is going to be very different post MH3. I think it is. Yeah, it's going to be a very big shakeup. How different is kind of abstract. My opponent is plotting a second slick shot show off. A second show off has hit the building here. I think I'm actually going to just get a 2/2 Typhoon into play. No, let's just Deluge. We know we want to spend 4 mana to Deluge at some point, so let's just do it now. Gonna take a Sheoldred's Edict and a Counterspell, I think. Would you say most of chat has a very close grasp on the game? Yeah, absolutely. I would. Okay, so let's Deluge. Let's pillage for a land. Oh, only. Oh, so there's an Otawara. I guess it's okay. Yeah, I you know, despite all the teasing I've done to chat over the years, I think that here we have a very enfranchised chatter pool here. Like we don't have that many people coming in going, "Oh, I haven't ever played Magic the Gathering before. What's going on here?" I don't think my stream is super beginner friendly. Yeah, we don't know how much will change since we haven't seen all the cards, so it's a little bit early to say. But at the time of making this comment, I think the format will be pretty different post MH3. I think it'll be revitalized, and I think that's how Magic should always be. It should always be changing. Like that's just kind of like what it is to be alive, even is in a constant state of evolution and growth. And I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody more excited for MH3 than me. Let's go to Edict now. Just in case they're on a main deck spell Pierce. Yeah, that's true. I think Twitch chat on Magic is also on average like a lot more enfranchised. People are taking times out of their day to come and watch and learn and try to find out what's going on, all the new tech, which is I would say less casual than YouTube watchers on average. And I would say a lot less casual than your average Commander player, maybe. Yeah, well, don't say I never gave you nothing. June 24th is next BRMR, and Amsterdam is right after it. Yeah, there's a lot going on. This is going to be a very eventful summer between like MH3, Assassin's Creed, the RC. Like if I qualify for Amsterdam at the RC, I just doing nothing but Magic for like 2 or 3 months, like like 12, 15 hours a day. Like it was for Barcelona. It was fun though. Would do it again. So you got the LGS is the same 8 modern players, no standard players. All player growth is pre-con commander players. Yeah, yeah. My like little sister, like all her friends, just play commander. They don't know much about like the rest of Magic, you know. And she like just plays commander very casually and just borrows decks. The PT is only 2 weeks after release. Yeah, I mean that's not the most abnormal. It's like a little sooner than usual these days. The things it's weird. It's weird. Do I have 7 mana after this? I don't, so can't find Nexus, so we'll just go ahead and put them on tap. Thought about doing a trophy race again. I thought about it. I wanted to do a trophy sprint at the end of the last year. It ended up not really working out because I got kind of sick. Wait, no, I had COVID. I ended up not working out because of COVID. But also like the trophy race was really nice at the time because there was no organized play, and there just was like a lot of exciting like Magic cards, and the gameplay was good, but there was no organized play. There were no tournaments to try to prepare for. There was like nothing to do, so it was in a big way me just trying to make something to do. You know what I mean? And now there's a lot going on in Magic. There's the game is very alive, and I just kind of think that the trophy race is not needed anymore. Okay. Nice game 1 up against Prowess here. We're gonna bring in the explosives. I think the first pick your poison. It kind of depends on what the deck is, but more than 0 pick your poisonous a lot of times or anything. I think we also want the Damnations. They're kind of slow, but we do have the growth spirals, although maybe I'm trimming on some growth spirals. We'll see. I'm going to cut the Nexus of Fate. We kind of have to leave in the Typhoons because we're low on win cons, although the card is not good against them. I think this is maybe just board out the Pillage the Bogs. Just kind of slow in the matchup. Although digging for Damnation, it's kind of slow too. Let's just do that. Yeah, this looks good. Charm is really good against them. Steal mode on Channeler and stuff, just actually pretty good. Yeah, the slime is Pillage Bog. This is what Dingo calls the card on his channel. Dig through slime. If you look at the art, that's he's emerging through the slimy bog, and when you cast it, it kind of feels like you're casting a dig through time. 2 mana, see like 8 cards. Okay, let's keep this. Explosive is pretty good against them. Universal. Let's go back. PT says, Dingo and I are doing a Gamba where we try to outperform Image 3s and challenges for gifted subs. If you want to get on that. I don't know. Post Image 3 is like, I think the worst time to be doing a bet like that. Because it's just like, you need to get like really weird with it. You need to really be able to get out of your comfort zone, I think, and try a lot of weird stuff. Because like, I think a lot of deck building conventions are going to be kind of brought into question and change post Image 3. And so it's like, could they plot a show off? So yeah, so I mostly feel like I don't want to put myself into any kind of box. I just want to have the ability to be the most open ever. We'll see. I think there's also a really good chance that like I end up streaming like 12 hours a day on like every weekday during Image 3, and then like I just need to take time off on the weekends too. We'll see. Just gonna be a lot of variables. So they have a plotted show off still. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be super interesting by itself. We're not going to need to play. We're not gonna need to like make things interesting by doing like a bet. Things are already just going to be like as intense and interesting as they need to be. But also, I don't know if you feel like this is also just kind of the direction I want to go. It's really doesn't matter that much either way. I think the struggle time is actually now. Yeah, I agree. I think like right now is like you have to kind of Jack Sparrow your way just off the sinking ship of this lame duck format into the next set, which is why like it's really exciting that Outlaws of Thunder Junction is a super duper deep set. Like it took us a month to find the best card in the set. And like we're like, you know, we still have like so much to do. There's just there's a lot of interesting stuff to work on. I am also tentatively interested in paper, like testing MH3 ahead of time in paper. I have like, I don't know. I just don't know who I would ask to do it. Maybe a Maz, but I don't know if a Maz would want to. I think I'm just gonna steal main phase. Caleb. Yeah, so I wanted to do it in person. So maybe I could do that during the RC. Like Caleb's gonna be down, Dingo will be down. Yeah, I know Dingo will be down, but I want to do the paper magic in person. I don't want it to be webcam, which is why I was thinking of Moz, because Moz is also local. And if Dingo wants to fly out and do a bunch of paper magic streams with me, I would be down. Oh. All right, Dragon Rage's Channeler, you got some work to do. We do have an island in play. Very punished. We can maybe go to discard next turn and get Delirium. I guess we could also just cycle Typhoon. So make a 2/2. We've got 5 points of flying in the air now. Don't have that many castables. No Discord. I can text him. I don't know, like it's a lot of pressure too, because I don't know that I want Dingo to feel like he like is obligated to either. But so they're saying their last card is a Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart. I think I cannot beat that anyway, so I'm gonna try to call a bluff here. Although not that they're bluffing that often. Mutagenic Growth also would be kind of tough to beat, huh? Need another Typhoon. So right now we are behind in the race. Do you have a setup for a test stream? No, but I have a room where I play D&D that with a table that would probably be pretty good for paper magic stuff. I don't have a setup ready to go. I would have to spend some time, but I think it would be good content, and kind of simply put, like that is kind of what people are most interested in, and it could be fun. I might bring in Force of Vigor. Maybe Force of Negation is better, but like Force can like kill the. Okay, this only hits Blood Moon, but it hits it the turn after it comes down, and I can pitch Kaheera to it even if I don't have a green card. Force of Negation can stop Breach, which is pretty nice. We go down to Damnation on the play. Let's play a couple Force of Negations. Okay, I revealed Giganta. If I qualify for PT, would I prep with CP going to try to do team? Just kind of pinned. I don't know. I don't know that we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I would just kind of see who would have me. No Force of Vigor. I think I want Force of Negation instead as my anti-Blood Moon card. That's what I was trying to say, but maybe didn't say it that well. You revealed Giganta. I revealed Kaheera. Did I say Giganta? I might have said it. I think I'm just gonna play Island here. You ever team up with a gang of non-PT players? Not like a random one, probably, but also you'd have to be qualified for the PT. I think for me to team with you. So that's one more 1-mana creatures than I have Fatal Pushes for. But I think I should probably keep the counterspell for a Blood Moon for now. Your Demon Lich deck, if you end up with lands in graveyard, you can't exile Demon Lich. You might want one or two Set Adrift. This is a really bad reason, I think, to want Set Adrift, that you can't. You want something to delve your cards away with too. You know what I mean? Like oh, these lands in my graveyard aren't doing anything. We need Set Adrift. Just not really like a logic that I'm resonating with. But obviously, we could Boseiju the Blood Moon. I think I'm just gonna counterspell here off a basic island. How would my 6-red Brimless look? I don't know. I have, there's like the main deck, very very rough draft of the main deck in the Mox field, but I um don't have anything I'm just like posting, you know what I mean? Is Demon Lich just bad in Pioneer? People have done well with it, but I think it's probably suboptimal in Phoenix. Freezebrewed New Soul Land plus Turtle plus Synthesizer. Witch Turtle. They're going to the Swift Spear here, which is good news for me because the Shark can block the show off. They have only one card left in their hand. So Drift also deals with any problem at permanent and is 1 mana. It's sometimes 1 mana, yeah. I don't know. You could play Set Adrift. I'm not going to stop you, but that card is not super good and is, you know, I don't know. I just want it. I'm not sold on the card, but I understand it is sometimes 1 mana. Okay, so obviously we need to draw some answer to Swift Spear, which we did. We are taking 7 down to 6, but they've got no cards in their hand. Just read that. It's also, you know, I would probably say the inverse too, where it's like when you're using Set Adrift, it's like awkward for your Demi Liches, but I don't know. You could play one, and I wouldn't play one. Okay, so will they remember their companion? And do they have a Surveil land? No Surveil land. Does remember companion. So we have our companion, and we also have a Otawara to balance Giganta maybe as a time buyer. But what if we just drew Memory Deluge? This is your Sultai Rec with Surveil lands. It is Sultai Rec, and I built the deck, and I have 4 Surveil lands, yeah. Okay, so drawing Sheoldred's Edict, I'm just going to go ahead and plan to use the Edict to answer the Sheoldred, or the Giganta, basketball brain, and play the Otawara. No attack. Well, we have we have the new Pillage the Bog in the deck as a new tech. Tap's kind of bad. Will we get punished? I'm going to take Counterspell Force of Negation, I guess. I guess I didn't tap that bad because I need to... I guess I could take a land Counterspell. Yeah, dude, imagine Sheoldred with Companion. So we'll make sure... We'll let the Surveil resolve first. They put Preordain into the graveyard because they thought that they could not cast it because of the whole Blood Moon situation. So, good. Kind of notably, if we didn't do that, they would have drawn a Preordain, which would have been bad for us. And may that be a lesson to you in responding to the... let the Surveil resolve first. Counterspell this. Got 2 castable Deluges in the yard. We're gonna have better top decks than average against our opponent here. Feeling pretty good about our spot. Not time to hardcast. We did hardcast earlier. Prudent was such a good unban also. Let's take Cling Archmage's Charm. The Cling to get us out of bolt range is obviously a big old deal here. They play their lands, so there's not really a combination of cards we die to if we tap out here in theory. Tentatively looking for a Reclamation, but we should just kind of be fine. Gonna gain 3 off the Cling. Got enough cards. You got 5/5 Shark into turn, 2-turn clock. Just like the good old days. Look how Field says fun as fucking timeless. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick. I would be I guess I'm kind of surprised I haven't done a timeless stream this season. I've just been so Modern has just been so good and so open. I just kind of feel like I'm not running out of anything to do in the format, which is definitely where I want to be. Do you ever reveal your hand like you can't get out of my control? No, I think that's kind of bad manners. I will sometimes I've had opponents like ask me like, "Is your hand too good to beat?" And I'd be like, "Yeah" or "No." Um, so the draw against Amulet are mandatory Amulet league per or Amulet match per league. Made a mistake of losing the die roll. Keep up Boseiju. They specifically said it was fine yesterday. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been playing. I listen. If they said it's fine, how could it not be fine? They specifically said it. Okay, Doom playing Gruel, Crimes, and Pioneer. Ooze is, I don't know. I have a modern brain when it comes to scavenging ooze. Also, turn 2 ring on the play is going to be tough to beat, let's say. Or Sunken Citadel with only 5 fields is probably wrong. I guess you have 1 creature land. I would just play, if you're going to play 4 Citadels, you need... I would play more creature lands. Like, hitting creature lands off Lookout is good, and... So, and also, like, lets your Sunken Citadels be better hits, too. I don't know, like, what split of the green-red creature land versus Lair of the Hydra or Den of the Bugbear I would do. I mean, Den of the Bugbear's got to be, like, the best one, right? Like, you have no green 1-drops, and there's untapped. Like, it's got to be better than Restless Ridgeline. Like, I would maybe just try to play 4, and then, like, 4 Field of Ruins, maybe 5 Field of Ruins. I don't know how good they are in the format. Looks like a pretty good first draft overall, though. Yeah, you could play, like, a second Hearse over, like, the second Ooze, maybe. Ooze is also, like, probably a fine Pioneer card. I don't know, it's not a card I've really played a lot with in Pioneer. Yeah, Dingo's been calling this card Dig Through Slime, and I like it. Ooze with 4 claws, 1 Hearse main deck seems excessive. I just don't know how good it is to, like, main deck that card Pioneer. Is it? I mean, it can't be that bad with like a Molly in the format, but also like Ooze with no mana elves is maybe bad. No space for Castle Vantress deck. I decided to play second Otawara over the Castle Vantress. You could play Castle Vantress over in that spot if you wanted to. Most meta pine decks are less basics than modern decks. Yeah, they maybe should be more on the field plan. Just a lot of ins and outs to the case, right? Okay. If I draw a Wilderness Reclamation this turn, we could win. Might die this turn. This card's Boseiju and Ring. And now I've got a clock. Remember you said Ren and 6 is so important to Reclamation archetype. Why decision to move back to Sultai mana base? So one thing is that the black removal spells are a lot better than the red removal spells at the moment. With Prowess and Leyline Scion being and like Zoo being so popular, like Lightning Bolt is not cutting it. Lightning Bolt is really bad against Prowess. It's really bad against Domain Zoo. Ren and 6 is really good, but you know, Pillage the Bog is they play pretty differently, but you can't really play both. And Pillage the Bog is also very good in the deck. Ren and 6 is also very good in the deck. You know. It is always good to be kind of debating two good includes instead of like two mediocre includes. I'm not, you know, definitively saying that this build is better than Teamer, but I think it's for me it's mostly that the removal spells in Teamer are just so bad. They did grab Titan, not Grazer. They also have, you know, 9 other cards in their hand. I guess 10 other cards in their hand. Besides this Titan. Thomas is OP, the best deck to play Ragavan. I mean, Ragavan is just, like... Bowmaster, I think, was really nice printing to, like, keep Ragavan in check. Yeah, I think in the context of modern Bowmaster has been like really appropriate power level. I think has had a positive impact, and punishes like punishing the Ring, punishing Ragavan, punishing Teferi. I think punishing creativity. All these things have been pretty good. Or Flame of Anora is good for Teamer Rec. Yeah, we've played Teamer Reclamation with Tashana's Tidebinder and Flame of Anora. Which was it was just mostly like the Wizards deck splashing for Ren and Reclamation just like we're like little less built around it, but it was still like really powerful mana engine, and I thought that deck was okay. Yeah, I would maybe play it again. I mean, they Summoners Pacted for a Titan, so don't know that I 100% believe that they just have another one, but I don't really know how they can't have anything else here. I counter target spell. Okay, kind of weird for them to just start off pacting for the Titan, but whatever. World's their oyster. We're just living in it. Okay, we're gonna bring in the anti-Titan sideboard cards. Let's cut these. I want to play some Force of Negation. I think 2 or 3. I want to play all 3 Edicts. I think maybe I could go down an Edict because these also answer Dryad. It's probably okay. Also cut a Shark, I think. Let's do this. Yeah, maybe they drew Titan off the Explorer. I don't know. It's not the biggest problem. This pact it could be like bait for a counterspell, maybe. I don't know why I would ever counterspell it. Edict's a bit awkward versus Grazer. Yeah, it's a bit awkward versus Grazer. It's true. Seems like a card we can keep on top here. Yeah, you could play explosives. We have like other removals for spells for this stuff though with the picker poisons, but like yeah, you could play 1 explosives kind of reasonably. So we go Spiral into Misty into picker poison on enchantment. Pack first playing on Fluster. I mean it's game 1, but yeah, I guess it's fine. If I miss my land drop, we'll see what they do, but there's a pretty good chance I'm just going to steal the Amulet main phase. So they play just a Gruul Turf with no land to bounce. Cycle Explore, maybe? Finds a second amulet. It's pretty good. Land would be good. I'm gonna steal. One fun thing, I guess I don't have a green and black land. I don't have a Triumph or an Overgrown Tomb. But if I did, I could like steal this, get a tap land, cast Pillage the Bog next turn. If I drew the land. I did draw a land. I think I should just go Reclamation into steal. Hard to imagine that one is incorrect to leave on top. Gonna try to steal in their upkeep here. Alright. Your turn. Do I have any YouTuber in mind that only plays control? Can be standard, pioneer, modern. Well, maybe Aspiring Spike in 2019 is what you're looking for. Everos is a streamer that used to primarily play control. Now he's kind of transitioned into variety streaming, I guess. I'm sure someone in chat can recommend you a control-only streamer. We're playing control right now. Maybe you could watch this stream. And maybe can I make you laugh enough where you stay? Probably not. Best to find a control only streamer probably. Wafo used to stream all the time. Has kind of stepped back from it, unfortunately. Yeah, Kanister's good at control. Honorog probably is a good choice too. I'm just gonna go plot into Deluge. Gab is live right now. Gab plays a lot of different stuff. People like to put Gab in a corner, but he has such a wide range of talent. Doesn't seem that bad to hardcast the Typhoon and then pillage. Okay, digging through slime. We did find the Nexus again, so we get to take an extra turn and flashback the Deluge, you know, just bury him. Take an extra turn, put a 7/7 Shark into play. Again, usually cast this before flashing back the Spiral, especially with, you know, Dig Through Slime in our deck. Okay, looking like we're gonna get a game 3. We'll see when we get there, I guess. Just take all the counter spells. Yeah, maybe we should be playing Amulet in our deck, huh? Amulet's a pretty broken card. Okay, so we're going to game 3. I think I agree that these Sheoldred's Edicts are actually not very good. Let's play the 4th Force of Negation and then 1 Fatal Push, and then we have like 5 answers to Dryad, and then we're going to try to counter a Primeval Titan or lose. So if they go turn 1 Amulet, will I force pitching the Nexus? I picked my account name. I think especially because they lead on Gardens, we're supposed to here. So no Nexus of Fate can maybe make our inevitability a little bit worse, you know. Should be okay. Is EE for Amulet too slow? Well, we just have other answers to Amulet, and you definitely could. You definitely could bring it in. I think we have enough other answers for Amulet that we don't need it or want it that badly. Free Strider with your Lotus Field, is it a thing? With my Lotus Field? So I kind of want to try to play a Free Strider Lotus Field Lost Jitte deck. I don't know if how reasonable that is. I've been kind of wanting to. Might just die to some Saga tokens. Restart and Boom Bust Lotus Field deck. That sounds kind of sick, actually. Does sound kind of sick. Just have 4 cards in their hand. Shout out to Gruul Turf, drawing them a card. Draw a Flooded Strand. I'm going to keep this Pillage the Bog, and I'm going to represent that I have some interaction instead of putting Kaheera into my hand. Red-green crimes, the Boom Bust. We'll see. Pretty good draw. Turn 1 Amulet that gets forced, and double ring, double dryad. Pretty gross. I think we're likely cooked at the moment. Let's see what this grabs us. Kind of has to be Deluge, I guess. With no Nexus in the deck, it's gonna be pretty tough to like go over the top of this, and also it's gonna be pretty tough to pick your poison in the ring since they have double Amulet. They Bajuka my Pillage the Bog. Free Strider in the mono green Eldrazi ramp deck could easily and consistently find you 12 temples. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that deck. Definitely seems like an option there. What a draw. Okay, so not 5-0ing. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. We have a surveil land. I think I'm going to have faith that we can surveil into a land here. White on Nexus. We had a Nexus of Fate, but we pitched it to a Force of Negation on turn 1. Pockets, 8 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Might have been better to hold it for a ring. So if I draw a green source, I'm not sure if I'm gonna. So they graveyard a Wall of Roots. Does this make it more likely that they have a Wall of Roots to play next turn, since this is like one of their most premium plays? I think the answer is probably yes. Like, I don't think they're just keeping one land, surveil land. So I'm going to kind of guess that they already have one of these that I'm going to want to try to push and then hold up Charm against. King Lambo, 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I do not miss this deck in the Standard. Yeah, I played an Arena PT where Reclamation was like the most popular deck by a lot. And I beat it. I think I beat it the first 4 times I played against it. I was playing in the Seif blue-white like mid-range list. I think I beat it the first 4 times I played against it, and then I think I had like this moment. I was even streaming it because you could stream like your POV from those tournaments. I was like, I think I did it. I'm playing an obscure deck with a good matchup against the most popular deck in the tournament. I just had this like feeling of like I had like I was just playing the best list for the event, and I was gonna maybe spike the PT and then the Players Tour, and then and then I lost to it 4 times in a row. I was like, well, maybe not, huh? So probably don't want to just charm into a pretty likely Orcish Bowmaster. Also probably don't want to crack the fetch and then let them resolve it, maybe. Maybe I can just untap here. I'll shock. I mean, I think I'm just going to end up Archmage's Charm countering Bowmaster end of turn, but I can just use this to surveil, so it's not like I am wasting the land by shocking. Do we know when MH3 spoiler session officially starts? I think tomorrow. My spoiler card is not for 10 days. Reward has redeemed VIP mod. Which will it be, my friend? Congratulations. But finds a land and then casts a halfling and then casts Hapatra. Pretty good. I think I keep the land. Shifting reward. Yeah, I got an email yesterday saying that there was a mistake. And that I have been given a preview card. They also said that I haven't been sent it yet, but they said that the preview card I have hasn't been leaked yet, which is nice. But they said they can. It was very funny. They're like, we can't be sure that it won't be leaked by the time you spoil it, which is pretty fair. So I think I'm pushing Hapatra, and then they go to main phase the spiral. Although it's just like I'm not really like successfully bluffing a counterspell because of the whole halfling situation. Been lobbying on Reddit for you. I appreciate the sentiment. You don't have to do that. That's very nice of you to do. You don't have to. It's really not that serious. I appreciate the sentiment. I don't need a spikeling internet army. Champing on my behalf. So they didn't play a Bowmaster there. They may just like chord for one here. They want to go after their mana. I'd like for them to shuffle this back in, maybe. I guess I should have. Yeah, sorry, I can't need to respond to this. They probably sacked the Wall of Roots. Yeah, which is good. Yeah, I have seen another Crab's Treasure looks really fun. Esther really wants to play it. Actually, I want to play it too. But we're both of us have been really into Hades. Hades 2. We're just like, just like every night once we're done doing stuff, we're like just taking turns on separate runs on Hades 2. It's been so fun. Okay, I'm down to 12. Okay, I'm sorry I trash talked you, Scavenging Ooze. You can get rid of my deluge. I get fine. Sheesh. Chill out. Yeah, Hades 2 is crazy. It's like it feels like they made it's still in early access, but there's just so much more to this one than there was to the first game, and there was a lot to the first game. But it almost feels like they built Hades. Like Hades 2 is Hades 1 or Hades 2 and Hades 3 all in one game. Is how I've felt so far. So I could pillage now. I think it's just better to go wreck into Nexus. Opponent's tapping out of the ooze, thinking they're about to get to untap. Okay, so I'm going to go cast or play Scalding Tarn. Dig through slime. Look for a deluge. Obviously find deluge. Don't think I want to surveil off the Scalding Tarn. Just going to tap it for mana. I'm way worse at Hades 2 than I was. Not sure why. Yeah, I am also I beat Hades for the first time. Like the first, got a successful run. Like the very first day I played it, and then I still haven't completed a run on Hades 2. It's I think it's harder and more complicated. Um, I think it's both harder and more complicated, and I think you get less boons also. Is at least pretty sure you do. Let's gonna take Cling, Fatal Push, and then Flashback now. I have Correct to Fetch this turn, so let's take. I think I just take Push Pillage and then just push the Endurance, push the Ooze. Pass back. I think your muscle memory is fucked. Well, I don't know if it's muscle memory because Hades 2 plays really differently from Hades 1. Like it's like I think it's a slower game where you have to play like a lot more methodical, which is something I I never do. But I think you have to play. You have to really think, and the systems are more complicated, which is good. I think it's like a really good sequel and how it's like expanded on the ideas. But I've also kind of gotten to a spot where you start to upgrade stuff even more, which I'm envisioning it getting easier after this. Yeah, I think it's good that Melinoe, I think is how you say her name, plays pretty differently from Zagreus. Squid, 42 months, thank you, welcome back. Hades 1 was a bit too hectic. I feel like Hades 2 was more hectic, maybe not. Yeah. Esther's been doing really good at Hades 2 also. She's like she's very good. She beat Hades 1. She wants to go back and get the epilogue, but she beat it like earlier this year. You don't play as Hades? No, you play as in Hades 1, you play as Hades' son Zagreus. Then Hades 2, you play as Hades' daughter, Melinoe. And Hades is a character in the game. But it's like I would if you're on the fence because it's like an early access, and you're like worried it's like there's not enough game there. There is enough game there. Ooh, a lively dirge. So they're both putting a card in the yard and returning 2. So maybe they're gonna put like Triad Arbor in the yard and Yawgmoth. Or they're gonna put 1 in the yard, so maybe just Yawgmoth in the yard, return Yawgmoth. Maybe they'll put like Grist in the yard, return. Probably not that. I would definitely recommend Hades 1 first. Hades 2 is very good, but Hades 1 is also like one of the best games I've ever played. And a lot of Hades 2 is building off the first one. It's also a finished game with like so much like stuff. Like playing Hades 1 really enhances the experience of 2. You won't, if you play Hades 2 first, you won't like be lost. You know what I mean? You won't like be just confused probably. But Hades 1 is just such a good game. It's like for me, it's like unskippable. Even if you don't like the genre of roguelike, which is not so, I mean, I guess I like Balatro a lot. Maybe I do like roguelikes, but for me, it's just like one of the best games I've ever played, and I would encourage anyone who likes video games to give it a go. This Otawara is worth 3 mana. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just cycle Cling to Dust before I do anything, because if I just draw a different land, I can save the Otawara. But I should probably play it because it's just, plus 3 mana to play it. Yeah, a lot of the weapons in Hades 2 have felt kind of dopey, but maybe I just haven't learned them. Okay, let's play Magic the Gathering for now. Hold on. We got a lot of mana. I'm gonna Flashback Deluge first. I've never played Slay the Spire. I know that if I would play it, I would I feel very confidently that I would like it. Simply put. Okay, I guess we'll just go. Fatal Push the Halfling. Steal the Might. It's kind of crazy, but like, all right, 2 for 1, 2 for 1 myself, 2 for 1 myself, and then feel like you really had like this, but obviously we drew a lot of cards. Yeah, apparently Slay the Spire 2 is coming out. I don't know. I've had a lot of friends who really want me to play Slay the Spire. I will probably get around to it at some point. I'm sure I would really like it. So they could cord for 2. Not something I care about, I think. I'm also trying to gold stake run every deck in Balatro. I think I've done 6 of them. I've been taking a little bit of an extended break from it, I guess, but I've done 6 of them so far and excited to get them all done. Yeah, Moz has asked me to play Slay the Spire, but I don't know. The thing is, I just know I'll play it too much. What is Balatro exactly? The thing about Balatro, like it's a poker roguelike, which sounds really lame, but it's just a very well designed game where you try to get a progressively higher series of high scores, and it's also a deck building game, and it's the music's good, and I think it's like what I like about Balatro is like the concept is really simple. Play your best possible poker hand, get as high a score as possible as like the score requirements go up, and because the concept is so simple, what the gameplay is really simple, so the game design gets to be really complicated, which is something I really enjoy about Balatro. Hard to imagine the 4th counterspell is not good here. Pillage the Bog has been really good, Todd. And it is sorcery speed. It hasn't really felt like a big tension. You know what I mean? It's just like I think it's a good addition to the deck without getting too crazy into it. Like it'll just find me a Deluge or a Shark Typhoon or a Nexus tech next turn, and just almost good at any point in the game. And this was kind of true for the Coffers deck yesterday, but just playing Pillage the Bog in your deck, it just makes it so much harder for you to get out top decked, which matters a lot for I think these kind of decks. We have a 1 Nexus. It is kind of surprising we haven't seen it. You have to counter this since this makes stuff uncounterable. Could flashback the Cling, and I guess if they went Peatland and the Bowmaster, that could end up actually being kind of bad. We'll save the Cling. Got plenty of juice. Wait, I've used all 4 deluges, which is not something I realized. That's okay. We'll just put a Shark Typhoon into our hand. And then, hard casting would be fine. I'll just make a 17/17 Shark in my instep instead. Yeah, you plot it. So the 2 most common situations where you plot a Pillage the Bog is if you're playing against a counterspell deck and your opponent is just holding up a counterspell. You'll basically always just plot it on that turn. And on turn 3, you also basically always plot it if you don't need to like dig for a 1-drop. It's just better to if that's your turn 3 play. It's just better to plot it than to not. And next turn you get to like 0 mana, look at the top 8, put 1 into your hand, and then that's turn 4, and then you can like try. That's 8 looks at a Wilderness Reclamation to like slam your Reclamation and start to take over the game. Yeah, I know I can cling. I only have 15 minutes on the clock and it's game 1, so I would prefer to get this game done with as soon as I can. I had to take some game actions here. I timed out on stream yesterday, but just barely. If my opponent had attacked me instead of my Planeswalker, I wouldn't have timed out. That was maybe the first ever timeout on stream. It was either the second or the first time. There's our Nexus of Fate. Opponent. Are they just fetching to try to get me off of clock time? Yes, they are. Is it working? I don't know. Played the Lookout Coffers deck yesterday. I did like go and pick up a package in the middle of middle of the match, which kind of factored into us timing out. Let's bring in the Totems and the Damnations. I'm gonna play I think 2 Edicts as like anti-Grist card. We can also just kind of ignore Grist sometimes. Keeping the Cling. Kind of want to play like 1 or 2 explosives. Yeah, I think I do feel like this account is laggier. I don't know what it is. I definitely feel more lag playing this one. I think there's a pretty good chance I can get ahead on clock though, and my opponent's only like a minute ahead of me here. I think they lost more time. Like it is very, I think, like obviously like, you can have your whole this clock discussion, but it like strategically it doesn't make a lot of sense to be like try to squeeze as much time off the clock as you can as a Yawgmoth player, because I'm up a game. If I just make you click through your combo twice, opponent, you're not gonna you have 15 minutes on your clock. Can you combo kill me twice in a match? I don't know. Maybe they can. Search for Skata is, in my opinion, pretty unplayable. I would not recommend it. Just not a modern playable card. It would be the best in a deck like this, but there's just like not a card I would cut for it. You know what I mean? Minute and a half on me. Give this one a keep. Bigger collection goes more lag. Yeah, that might be it. Gate to the Sea Tower. Yeah, what does Gate to the Sea Tower do? Yeah, if you have sounds on, it's laggier. I don't have sounds on, though, I believe. It's kind of bad into Grist, but Edict can be kind of bad in general. Maybe it's better to save. Save for Damnation. I feel like getting kind of ahead. It was nice when I'm kind of flooded. Some conversations for sure. My opponent probably holding up Bowmaster. Draw another land despite surveilling 1 into the yard. I guess I'll surveil that into the yard for a little bit of value. Not 100% sure. They don't play a Bowmaster. They do have a Thoughtseize. Is he good here? I just wanted to play 1 copy. It definitely has its moments. I think it's probably pretty good, yeah. I think I should probably just have 2. At the very least, just like killing a Cauldron and killing another 2-drop is probably going to happen pretty often, and is probably going to be pretty good when it does happen. So they get rid of my Cling to Dust. Gonna wait on the explosives. They know about the explosives, obviously, so they know I have drawn something, but let's hold up Archmage's Charm. It's not rocket science. Bob the Unstoppable, thank you for the 38 months. Still a great username. Hope you're doing well. No castles for land, take up those spots. I'm playing second Otawara over the first castle. I think Castle of Interest is a card you could play. I haven't been missing it. It's not like if we draw an Otawara, we could think, this could have been a castle. My opponent's also like going to second main phase here before casting their spells. Just fine. I'm now ahead on time, by the way. Just barely. Doesn't top their Cauldron. 3 cards in their hand. Was this Echo's considered cryptic? Yeah. It's about playing cryptic. Cryptic is like not the worst in Reclamation. It's one of the best decks you could play it in. I thought like trying to like pillage the bog into it would have been a somewhat nice thing to be doing. Yeah, I haven't played with Three Steps Ahead. At the time of making this comment, don't think that the card is good, you know. Not the most complicated. It's like the thing about Three Steps Ahead is like the copy mode just basically doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It's like a copy of Shark every once in a while, I guess. It's just not a really big deal. And so it kind of just has two modes. And the modes are it's easier to cast than Archmage's Charm, but you can't talk about weak cards, right? I don't like to talk about weak cards. I like to focus on the normal stream or official spoilers. Opponent, do not respawn. Or they're doing this so they can Cauldron Yogg and draw a couple cards. Okay, this is fine, I guess. They're gonna lose the Bowmaster though. Memory League. Target opponent removes banned. You can choose an online card for player's graveyard and exile it. No, just Magic Online Memory League. You just sack the Bowmaster. Makes sense. They've got 3 cards in their hand. See if they have to play into the Damnation at all. Pretty fucking good. Right, looking for a Memory Deluge. Forgot we surveilled the other Hedge Mage into the yard. I think I'm going to not play my land first. Oh no, we didn't find it. I could take a Typhoon though. I think the difference between 3 and 4 is very big in the spot where a 3/3 blocks. Like I'll get to like they're gonna go plus Grist main phase probably. We'll see, maybe they won't, but I'll be able to like attack the Grist. I guess they can minus and kill the Shark. I guess that's. Oh, they hit another Grist. Oh no! And now I'm so punished for not shocking here. But obviously my life total is pretty low. Didn't really feel like I had the luxury. Grist always seems to hit the makes 2 insects like of the best possible, best possible turn. Nice to be up like we're down like 2 minutes. Now we're up like 2 minutes after my opponent's just trying to play the clock game with me. Picked the wrong person. Could you just remember when it's best possible? Yeah, that's really the answer. They have Chord. That's pretty good. And that Thoughtseize on the Damnation was like so well timed. Could be a tricky one. Putting it lightly. Especially with this Grist ultimate. Probably have like close to no outs, but yeah, I mean like Deluge and the Sheoldred's Edict could buy me a turn. Okay, I found the Sheoldred's Edict. Certainly not in conceding territory yet. I was kind of hoping to find a Reclamation, but seems as though we can't have literally everything. Yeah, push is certainly a good pickup. I'm pushing the Orc army, taking 6. Oh, I'm dying to Pendlehaven. See if they remember they have Pendlehaven. Looks like they do remember. We go to game 3. About 3 minutes. I think I want the second explosives. Cut a second Edict on the play. I mean, Edict is kind of better on the play. I'm still going to cut it, I think. Explosives can also clean up Grist. Yeah, we could maybe Shark on 0, Revolt, but then we can't also kill the Grist. Put us on a mold to 6. Yeah, the Boseiju plus Bowmaster was a really good turn for them. No 1-drop. Nothing for me to steal. Sad. So, down all of our surveil lands, since we surveilled the other 2 into the yard here. Graveyard's a Grist. Pretty good in there. Agatha's Soul Cauldron deck. Plays a Wall of Roots. No 1-drop still. What's the ideal X for EE? I think you're gonna do it on 2 a lot of the time, where you'll kill like a Wall of Roots and a Cauldron, or like Wall of Roots Bowmaster or something. But you'll do it on 0, 1, 2, or 3. It just depends, of course. I'm just gonna counterspell this. I know it's weird, but like I just really want them to play a 2 into my explosives, and I don't want them to know about the Typhoon. It's like the information just matters so much here. And also, like, protecting the explosives so we can answer the Cauldron is really nice. Although I guess we could just counter the Cauldron if they took the explosives. Either way, it's a headache. I think I got really used to not bringing in explosives against Yogg and kind of the older builds, but I do think because of Cauldron, it's kind of just become a pretty good card. So if I pop on upkeep, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't chord for 4, so I want to do this upkeep so they can't just end of turn Bowmaster me. I would respond to a fetch land too with the sacrifice though. Or just like use the floating mana Bowmaster me. Things are looking pretty good. My opponent exiles Archmage's Charm in response to this, which I guess is fine. Yeah, the Grist is exiled for a future Cauldron. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Drawing up to 4. They're also like taking like a minute in their upkeep here. They have 6 minutes on their clock. We're up like 4 minutes now, and so this game that my opponent played in game 1 of trying to win the clock battle has really backfired for them. Second Grist is very good though. I have a Typhoon to put a little bit of pressure on it, I guess. Reclamation would be an awesome draw, he says, with 4 mana and a lot of spells in hand. Thank you for showing up to work today, Wilderness Reclamation. We love you. Could Surveillance push Battle Woods into playability? I'm not like... Okay, they respond to the trigger here, so I still get my untap. So we both spend 0 mana on a card, and they used 2 cards. I used 1 card. Put an Insect into play. They've got 2 cards in their hand. So I think I'm going to try to block a token here. If my opponent has Bowmaster, it's kind of bad. If they have like land Yawgmoth, it's kind of bad. They have a second Cauldron with only Wall of Roots for Cauldronable ability at the moment. If they played that pre-combat, I wouldn't have had the block. Can they double spell here? Cauldron and the Bowmaster is so annoying. And the Force of Vigor for my Reclamation. Very nice rebuild for our opponent. Got a bunch of Fatal Pushes. They got no cards in their hand. They also can Cauldron my Deluge. I think I'm going to push this insect. I mean, I can push the Bowmaster kind of whenever I want, and I would not be opposed to finding the second explosives and killing the Cauldron. Okay, so let's go Reclamation, Pillage the Bog. They take the Deluge, to be expected. I kind of need to get a black source here so I can find Damnation. So I think I'm just gonna go cast Reclamation, get a tapped Watery Grave, and then hold up 2 pushes, and then I'm even like, oh, I guess the problem with this is I can't go Pillage into Damnation and cast it in the same spot. Hey Gab, thanks for the raid. We're wrapping up a Sultai Reclamation League here. Game 3 against Yawgmoth. My opponent's top card is not a Boseiju. That's a Chord of Call. Oh, it's worse, okay. Chord for a Haywire Might. Ooh, this card's been really hot here. Guess I just pushed the Bowmaster. My life total's not that high. Got a Grist Ultimate. Took down game 1. Looks like not super likely to take down either sideboard game. The creature in the yard milled for the Grist Ultimate next turn. And they have Yogg. So, I mean, if I top deck, like, Damnation, I mean, they get to draw 4, so it's just, like... a little too late. Okay, let's pack it in. I think we should have time to try to get through second Phoenix League here. It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago